When you talk about clutch shooting in women's college basketball history, one name rises instantly to the top: Caitlin Clark. Long before she became the #1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, she built her legend at University of Iowa by taking and making shots most players wouldn't even dare to attempt. Logo threes, step-backs from 30 feet, pull-ups in transition with defenders draped all over her. And she didn't just hit them in random regular season moments. She hit them when the lights were brightest and the pressure was heaviest. One of her biggest statements came in the 2023 Elite Eight against the Louisville Cardinals women's basketball. With a trip to the Final Four on the line, Clark pulled up from well beyond the three-point arc, closer to the logo than the line itself. It wasn't desperation, it was confidence. She finished that game with 41 points, sending the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball to their first Final Four in 30 years. That deep three didn't just add to the scoreboard, it shifted momentum and made it clear that Iowa's offense extended far beyond traditional range. 2 nights later, on an even bigger stage, Clark delivered again. Facing the undefeated defending champions, the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball, Iowa was the underdog. South Carolina entered the Final Four on a 42-game winning streak. In the second half, Clark hit multiple deep threes, including a cold-blooded step-back that quieted a powerhouse program. She scored 41 points again, and Iowa handed South Carolina its only loss of the season. Those shots weren't just impressive, they ended a dynasty run and sent Iowa to the national championship game. In February 2024, Clark delivered another massive moment, this time in front of a packed home crowd. She drilled a deep three to surpass Kelsey Plum for the all-time NCAA Division I women's scoring record. It was fitting that the record-breaking basket came from long distance. Clark had built her reputation on stretching defenses to the breaking point, and the shot that made her the top scorer in women's Division I history perfectly captured her style. But she wasn't done rewriting history. On March 3, 2024, she hit another deep shot that pushed her past Pete Maravich for the most career points in major college basketball history, men's or women's. In Division I, Maravich's record had stood since 1970. Clark broke it in front of a national audience, again doing it with the kind of long-range jumper that had become her signature. That basket cemented her as the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history. Her ability to rise in championship settings was just as remarkable. In the 2024 Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament, Clark buried deep pull-up threes throughout Iowa's title run. In the championship game, she scored 34 points and was named tournament MVP. Time after time, when a trophy was on the line, Clark delivered shots that broke defensive schemes and crushed opponents' hopes. Against the Michigan Wolverines women's basketball in 2024, Clark provided another unforgettable moment. Near the end of the first half, she launched a near half-court shot to beat the buzzer. The ball sailed from nearly 40 feet out and dropped cleanly through the net. It wasn't a lucky fling, it was a controlled, confident from a player who practices those shots. The arena erupted, and the clip quickly went viral. That same night, she went even further, scoring 49 points and setting the new major college scoring record at the time. The shot that pushed her past the previous mark? A deep three, fittingly. Even in defeat, Clark's big shots left their mark. In the 2023 national championship game against the LSU Tigers women's basketball, she knocked down multiple deep threes under heavy defensive pressure. Iowa ultimately fell short, but Clark finished the 2023 NCAA tournament with 191 total points, the most ever scored by a player in a single NCAA tournament at that time. Every round featured big baskets, many of them from distances that forced defenders to guard her nearly at half court. The 2024 NCAA tournament brought more of the same. In the Elite Eight, with another Final Four berth at stake, Clark once again scored 41 points in the regional final, hitting deep shots that kept Iowa in control during critical stretches. For the second straight year, the Hawkeyes were heading to the Final Four, and once again, Clark's range and fearlessness were at the center of it. What made these shots so big wasn't just the distance. Plenty of players can hit a deep three in warm-ups. Clark hit them when defenses were specifically designed to stop her. She faced traps, double teams, and box-and-one schemes. Opponents picked her up the moment she crossed half-court. And still, she pulled up from the logo. Still, she stepped back into 28-footers. Still, she let it fly in transition without hesitation. By the time her college career ended, Clark had led Iowa to back-to-back national championship games, won multiple National Player of the Year awards, and become the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer. She consistently led the nation in scoring and helped drive record-breaking television ratings for women's basketball. Arenas sold out across the country. Games were moved to larger venues to accommodate demand. Her shooting range forced a shift in defensive philosophy and expanded what fans believed was possible in the women's game. And then there's the impossible one. It's not just a single shot frozen in time. It's the collection of moments where logic says don't shoot, and she shoots anyway. The step back from well beyond the arc with a defender closing hard. The off-balance three in transition. The pull-up from near the logo in a tie game. Time after time, those shots went in. Not because they were lucky, but because they were practiced, calculated, and fearless. Caitlin Clark didn't just make big shots. She made history with them. Every deep three stretched the boundaries of the sport a little further. Every record-breaking jumper added another layer to her legacy. And every so-called impossible shot proved that for her, distance was never a limitation, it was an opportunity.